Now this is the tube fly I'm going to be tying. This is a kind of modern style tube. It's basically got everything that you would find in the modern tube nowadays, just about. We've got at the back inside here we've got a 5mm painted bead. This one's a fluorescent red. Bit of flash. We've got basically a Zonka style patch for the wing, and turbo disc in the front. Now, it's pretty easy enough to tie. It's just having the materials. The mixed materials here for different companies. Sean Stanton, Frank and Snell, their company, which they do excellent tubing and discs and all the rest of it. Again, we've got the Future Fly, which is the hair. There's lots of good companies there that produce really top quality materials for tying these flies. I will list them below the video so you can see where you can source these. So anyway, we're going to be tying it. This here is it's a mix between a Cascade and a part shrimp. It's just quite a simple fly to tie, so we'll get into it. Now, the tubing you're going to need is this. This is the one I'm using, this fly. There's many colours in this is the inner tubing. This is 1.8mm and it's a 200mm length. You can buy these in packs of 6, 5, 6, whatever. Basically, normally these would be put inside. This would be inner tubing and it'd be a heavier one, but you can use it itself. The bead I'm going to be using is a 5mm painted fluorescent red bead. You simply I'm just going to put it through just to show you, and then I'm going to melt the end to hold the bead in place. So what I do is get the lighter obviously, and then I kind of basically take the flame round the edge, and at the same time I'm twisting the tubing just to open out and make it slightly bigger, as you can see. That spreads it out. Just instead of curling in itself, this will help keep it out. And once that, excuse me, I'll just blow it, it starts to cool down, you can push it to the bead. Now, just cut it maybe around about, for the size of fly I'm tying, it's just short of an inch or so. This is just a tapered hook that I've used, an old tapered hook I broke off. You could use your needle. This works for me really well. Oh, make sure I put it in the... This is the HMH. It's a tube tool or the adapter for holding needles, which is ideal. So just push it on to that point where it sticks. And then we're going to tie them to level it up a wee bit. There we are. The thread I'm going to be using is a fire orange. In this case it's the old and uni. So just start at about, say, 5 or 6mm up, and then bring your thread into the bead. Break away your waste. I'm going to use a gold flash. This is one here. This is the Sala products. This is the Alta Gold, which is a really good dubbing, ideal for salmon flies. So basically, you dub it on quite loose. I want it to be very leggy. I'm just going to put it on as up it right up against the bead, really tight. Now I'm bringing the thread through just to slightly tighten it up, and then I'm going to draw back any fibres or any of the dubbing that's going forward. Just draw it back and hold it with thread turns, just like that. And then I'm going to use some Velcro and just brush it out all the way around so it's like a hackle. Very simple. It's just a blocker to stop your dressing. The rest of your dressing will stop that as well. Now, what I'm going to do is tie in, basically to help lift this, the wing. I'm going to tie in, you could use Bucktail or whatever, a stiff hair. In this case it's dyed yellow. Now, depending on the size of the fly that you're tying, it would be small, quite large. I mean, you've got to balance this to suit. Now I'm tying this here, the actual patch, the piece I'm putting on the top here is 1.5 inches, so it should really, if you look at the length, it should go towards the end of the skin. So you're looking at that length. Just going to cut it. Just look, see where we are. It's fine. I'm going to trim it to where I'm actually going to tie it in. This just saves a wee bit of bulk. Make sure you wax your thread, and then come in and catch this down. Watch your flash. 3 or 4 turns in there, make sure it's held. Now I'm just going to use some super glue just at the end here, just to make sure this hair doesn't pull out. Tidy this area up. It's fine. Now you'll see how the bead holds up. This is what kicks the wing in, keeps the wing above the back and allows it to kick and swim really well. Flash I'm using, this is you use quite a few types of flashes, but this is one I like. This is an orange, it's a mirror flash. Now like 4 or 5 strands. This will form flash for the wing and the sides. So trim it away. So what I'm going to do is just put some on the sides, the length of the, basically if you imagine a hackle beam there. So I'm catching it on my side, winding down, taking it over on your side and then winding back up to where I got it in at the beginning. You want to catch this the same length on the other side. And then we've got some flash we want to put on top. So there's 5 strands there, just sit there on top of the wing. Just slightly longer than your bucktail. Now I'm going to fold this back. And this will tuck it back and hold it really well. So we trim that away. Just moisten that and keep that for your next fly. Now what I'm going to do here is use the hairdryer just to basically give me a shape, or show me the shape of the fly. That's the underbody, so just the hairdryer is a big help in these flies, just to see the length. See how it's sitting. And it's fine. That looks fine to me. It's just a wee tad long, so I'm just going to trim that. Now we're going to tie in a yellow hen hackle. So it's a saddle that I bought, just a white and saddle. So basically I'm going to take one of these, I've dyed it yellow obviously, nice warm yellow. So I'm going to tie this in, basically you could tie in so you get a wee bit of the fluff, gives you a lot of movement, or you can just use the fibre itself, it's up to your set, it's up to you. It's very soft fibre, so you can use whatever you want. So what I'm doing is trim away the tip, make sure you wax your thread. Just going to catch it on the side, 3 or 4 turns. Now what this does, it basically tidies this area up from tying in all these materials, obviously adding colour as well. So 2 or 3 turns, turn away this side, just onto the fluff, there we go. So that's basically tidied that area up, so it gives you a clean tying area for your next material. Trim that away. Again, a wee bit more wax. Just hold these back. Just tidy this area up for your wing. That's fine. Now, the possum I'm using for the wing, this one's called Hot Yellow. This is the material I'm using is from Future Fly. And if I come in here, you'll see move my fingers. It's hot yellow and hot orange. It's a nice colour. I'll show you a bigger patch so you can see it better. It's getting a bit. I've used quite a lot of it, and it's good in this fly. This is in kind of Cascade, if you want to call it, or part shrimp style colour combination. So this is a strip I've cut it into a point. Now it's just over 1 inch long. You need a bit of area to tie it in. The easiest way is what I do normally is just cut it into a slight point as well. Take the corners off. Again, make sure you get wax on your thread. I'm just going to moisten my fingers here just to straw back the fluff, so you can see what you're doing. This on top. Make sure it's right on top, nice and tight. If you want it to last that wee touch longer, just touch the area, head area, or point to the skin with the super glue, or even varnish, and that secures it in. Now I'm going to put some an orange hackle in front, a orange hen, same patch. Obviously this case it's a hot orange, and don't want it too long. But the same length as the, or just slightly longer than the yellow. Any of the two, it still works fine. Again, when you pull fibres back to tie it in, cut away the tip. It's on your thread. Nice base of thread down for winding your hackle. Now, usually I would strip this back before I tie it in, but just to show you, it's actually easier to get a neater finish if you do strip it. Now this is a reasonably sized fly, 2.5 or so inches long, so it's ideal for this time of the year. Catch it in, nice and tight. Trim away the waist. 2 jungle cock eyes. So let's get 2 reasonably sized jungle cock. Just going to bear some of the fibres away. We tie basically on the best part, the strongest part of the eye. So what I'm doing is putting both on at the same time. Just lay them so they're sitting up, basically like bunny ears if you want to call it. Come over 2 or 3 turns. See how they're sitting. Look okay. And then what I'm going to do is just draw these back, fold them back. Anything going forward, just hold them back with your fingers. Tidy up with the thread. Now I'm just going to whip finish just now, just straight in and whip finish. So everything's nice and tight. Whenever you let the bobbin go, it loosens off, so best to do that. Trim away the base of the jungle cock. Now the disc, just using a gold disc. You could use a fluorescent red or whatever, but the gold disc works. So what I do then, some more of the super glue. I'm basically like putting it onto the tube and slightly onto the head. This is part of holding this is a UFO in gold, which is this again, this one's from Future Fly. So I'm just going to slide this up. What I normally do is just bring my hand in here and then pull it up against the head. Basically hold it in position, give it a second. Super glue will stick within 3 or 4 or 30 seconds or so. Doesn't take long. There we are. So that's your double disc on. Now you could basically put a muddler head in front of this. There's other things you could use. You could gold beads. You could have just the head itself. Just the thread is fine. It's still work. Make sure it feels okay. And remove it from the needle. So what I'm going to do is trim round about maybe 3 to 4 mil from the end of the turbo disc. Go back to your lighter. Remember to rotate or come round the edge just to fold it over. So just take your time. Let it slowly melt towards the disc. And you get a better spread of the plastic and the tubing. Just going to remove this needle here so that make sure the hole is clear. And there you go. And that's basically what it is like a cascade. More a cascade than anything, but at the same time it's got a wee bit of the part shrimp within it. But this is a good wee pattern. I mean, another good one would be your orange and, your your yellow, your kind of D-monkey colour, which works. It's the same. You can have a pure yellow, all with Oppossum, works really well, good colours, combinations work. This is a nice pattern, so it is. So basically what you do with the tube flies, a lot of people ask me, thread your nylon through the hole here, and then you would tie on your double, single, even the treble if you want. It's hangs at the back. Different ways of actually mounting this at the back, but there's many methods. Basically, I usually normally use a sleeve, but in this style, most like this heavy bead at the back, which gives it a nice kick. These swim they swim really well. You'd have to see them in the water. You can see why they're so popular at the moment. They're very good right throughout the season, entire different sizes. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Just put it back on here so you can see it. And that's one of your modern style tubes. Pretty easy enough to tie. Once you get into it, it's really quick. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you enjoy the videos, please subscribe, it is free. And thank you for watching.